you are a psychologist who works with insurance or works in an academic medical center, you have probably heard so many conversations about productivity. Often the terms used would be something like RVUs. So if you're applying for jobs, don't be surprised, that's a very common term. So basically for billing purposes, we use CPT codes or we have H&B, health and behavior codes. And this is just kind of a summary of how long we have to be with the patient. And then there's other criteria that we have to meet to be able to bill for an encounter. There's also crisis events and things like that we can bill extra for, although there are very kind of strict regulations for what would constitute a crisis or interactive complexity code. And in a lot of hospitals, your salary is just a base salary. You don't get paid based on productivity, but in a lot of hospitals, there has been a push towards a productivity-based model, which kind of sounds great in theory, but really for behavioral health services does not make sense because the max we can bill for is basically like an hour of psychotherapy. We can't bill for trying to get in touch with a patient, trying to document, trying to communicate with schools or coordinate. I mean, the amount of times I call schools and spend up to an hour on the phone, I do that for patient quality care. That's something that I can't bill for. So when it comes to hospitals trying to increase the productivity-based reimbursement, providers are not going to be able to do that, to spend time doing services that we can't bill for. Or now with my chart encounters, a lot of physicians have hundreds of in-basket messages. Those are things that you typically can't bill for, though I think there are some changes coming to that. So basically, if you're a psychologist, you're dealing with insurance or just working in an academic medical center, you will be dealing with RVUs, which basically is the interpretation of how much productivity you're getting. Honestly, clearly I still don't fully understand, but it's basically you bill for these CPT codes and what is the equivalent for your RVUs. So it's not a one-to-one type of thing, and every hospital is different. It's set by a consulting company. It doesn't actually reflect how difficult certain cases are, or it loses a lot of nuance, let's say.